welcome to Find Wasabi News, where we give you a rundown and a recap of the stories that have happened during the week. You know how we serve you. We serve you with politics, we serve you with relationship, we serve you with sports and crime and whatever stories that you want, including health, right? Okay, my name is Toby Rotimi, and let's head on to the stories that we have for the week. First off, on politics, EFCC arrests YAHAYA BELLO over 110 billion naira fraud. Okay, so you know how the story of YAHAYA BELLO has been going back and forth. So first, in the beginning of April, he was summoned to testify to what he has done, and then he did not show up. Afterwards, we didn't see him again, and then this time around, he's been detained and been questioned for what he has been doing with that sum of money. And it has been stated that he has built or acquired like so many properties, especially in Abuja. But we can get to know more on that story when we log on to the blog. Let's move on to another story. This one says, Gambari calls for decentralization of power in Nigeria. Professor Ibrahim Gambari, the former chief of staff to the ex-president Buhari, has come out to say that instead of having all the power to the federal government, why not share some to the state and the local government so that they could also have power and authority in some certain issues of the Nigerian sector, like housing, feeding. These should be disseminated among states so that division of labor would, go on, and Nigeria will have the economic value that it's supposed to. All right, this is what Professor is saying. But you can get more on that story when you log on to the blog, right? Let's move on to another story. This one says, government takes action against ghost workers abroad. So it has been observed by the federal government, a body of the federal government of Nigeria, that Nigerians do not actually work here, but they just get salaries and they are in diaspora. So this should not happen, right? So they're seizing that opportunity to talk to Nigerians who are in diaspora, not to just collect salaries based on or hiding under the cover of working in Nigeria. I don't know how that will go, but let's see how that goes anyways. Let's move on to another story. This is on finance, and we have the dollar to naira situation on the ground. Of course, naira is still weak with 1,750 naira as at $1. Like I said before, I really don't know if this is really scaling up to 2,000 naira, but what should we do, or what should the financial body of Nigeria do to make this settled, to make a balance between the dollar and the naira? Because this is really getting too much, if you agree with me, right? Let's even hear your comments on the comment section on how this dollar to naira has affected you in whatever kind of way, maybe in your business, your home, whatever. Let's hear you. Let's move on to another story. This is from Pastor Bakari, and he says Nigerians growth blocked by corruption and fear. So Pastor Tunde Bakari, the General Overseer of Citadel Global Community Church, has come out to say that the reason for the lack of growth of the country is because of two things: corruption and fear. But how come? Yes, we know that, right from a very long time, we've been talking about corruption here and there. And then fear is what he's talking about next. How are we scared? Are we scared to come out to ask for our rights? Is that the kind of fear he's talking about? What exactly is he really talking about when he talks about fear? But You get to know more on the story when you log on to the blog, right? Let's move on to another story. This is on religion. This one says Bishop T.D. Jakes experiences health scare during sermon. So the founder of Potter's House, Dallas, Texas, had a health issue during his sermon, but his family members have come out to say that he's up and well, he's doing very well, and he also thanks people who came around to support as well. Right, let's move on to another story. This is still on religion. Mike Bamiloye criticizes pastors' wives who strain marriages. The filmmaker evangelist Mike Bamiloye has come out to tell people, especially married women, that instead of backing out of their husband's ministry, they should be a form of support to their husband's ministry, whatever kind of ministry they represent. They should just support instead of backing out and leaving them alone in the ministry. That it is really important. But if you want to get to know more on that story, you can log on to the blog, which is www.findwhosabiblog.com. This is on the foreign scene. Russian flight makes emergency landing after engine fire. So the Russian Azimut airline flight carrying 87 passengers and 4 crew members had to forcefully land in Antalya Airport in Turkey on Sunday due to the fire outbreak. But it was noted that there was no casualty, everyone was safe and being taken care of, and that's a very good one. You can get more on that story when you log on to the blog. Remember, it's www.findwhosabiblog.com. Let's move on to another story. Man cancels wedding after fiance's painful confession. So this man came up to say that his wife cheated on him 2 weeks before the wedding, and despite the pleas from his fiancée, he said no. So definitely there's no wedding, nothing. Everybody goes home in tears, unfortunately. But you can get more on that when you log on to the blog, right? We'll go on a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Find Who Sabi News. We always give you a rundown and a recap of the stories that have happened during the week. So these are the headlines that I have given you so far. So we've touched on politics, we've touched on the foreign scene, right? And now we are on to entertainment. Let's see the stories that we have for entertainment scene. Regina Daniels and mom donate 2.5 million naira to a church in Abuja. That's a huge sum of money there, but that's really nice. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to the church. Let's move on to another story. Davido brags as Wizkid fails to break Spotify record. A lot of people have come out to even talk about how Davido is bragging about how he is really talking about his achievements on Spotify as against Wizkid's own achievements. But was it really necessary? Was it necessary? You guys can even comment on that. Let's move on to another story. It says Jagun Jagun dominates BON 2024. Femi Adebayo's film wins 6 awards. Congratulations to Femi Adebayo and his crew. Let's move on to another story, which is sports. Over-reliance on Osimhen could cost AFCON 2025. Etienne Etim wants the Super Eagles. You can get to know more on that when you log on to the blog. Let's move on to another story. this is on relationship. I think it's quite of my favorite, but yeah. Tips to become confident in all areas of life. So we're not talking about you and your spouse. We're talking about you, a relationship with you. And one of the ways you can even have a relationship with yourself is to build confidence in whatever you do, right? This is how people can appreciate you more and see you more on the things that you do. These are the tips that you can use to become confident in every aspect of your life, right? First off is start with self-acceptance. A whole lot of people are down with self-insecurity and they're not proud of themselves. But in order for you to build confidence in yourself, you need to accept yourself for who you are. Stand in front of the mirror and say, this is who I am, and this is who I want to be, and work towards it. Stand tall, your shoulders high, right? Another one is set small goals. So instead of setting a whole lot of goals, like maybe 10 or 20 at a time, you can start with even 1 or 2, right? Set small goals and achieve them one after the other. You can even write them down and tick it as you achieve them, right? Let's move on to another one, which is learn new skills. It is really important. Just equip yourself with something new. You can go on certificate courses, or you can, get a handwork to do something creative. Just be creative and learn new skills. Next up is to surround yourself with positive people, which is really important because your environment speaks a whole lot about you. The people you move around with speaks a lot about you. Remember the old adage that says, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. It actually works. So when you are with people who are negative minded, you also will become, or gradually will become, negative minded. But if you are with people who speaks positively about life, who speaks positively about themselves, and even who speaks positively about you, you tend to grow into that aspect as well, and you begin to speak positively about everything and yourself as well. You can get more on this story when you log onto the blog. Just check on the relationship category and you see more tips on how you can be confident in yourself, right? Let's move on to health story. This one says fruits that boost your sexuality. So aside fruits being so sweet and aiding digestion, there are actually some fruits that can actually make you more sexually active, right? So these are the kind of fruits that can boost your sexuality. First, we have watermelon. Watermelon is basically for the blood vessels, right? It just makes your blood flow well. Then we have strawberries and blueberries, also raspberries, basically berries, and they help to reduce stress in your body. So even while you are preparing to be sexually active, when you take berries, either raspberries, strawberries, any kind of berries, it helps to reduce stress so that when you're a little bit relaxed, you can jump into the fun, right? Another one is the mangoes. Mangoes are tagged as love fruits. They help to boost energy. You see that energy that you need to get it quicker and fun? Just take mangoes, right? So we have also bananas, we have avocados, we have pineapples that can help to boost your sexuality. So when you are looking for something that can increase that level of fun that you need on bed, these are the fruits that you can get. So these are the stories that we have for the week, and you can get it on the blog www.findwhosabiblog.com. Also, if you haven't followed us on our social media platforms, it is time for you to do so. Find Husabi on all social media platforms. All right, thank you so much for watching. thank you for adhering to the health and the relationship section, by the way, and also to know more on what goes on around your environment through politics and other categories as well. My name is Toby Rotimi, and I see you next time. Bye.